As it relates to the state budget cuts and issues with the state budget around per student funding, where do we go from here when we think that this might already be an insurmountable problem and then we don't get the support from our government? What do we do then?
You know, we have to hold our legislators and our governor, we have to hold them accountable. There were lots of children's issues that were not supported in the last budget round, and that always is so disappointing. So as a community, we have to put children first. We have to think about that the children are our future. So we have to hold our legislators accountable. We have to educate them. We have to make sure they understand if they cut resources that are designed to go to education, to early childhood education, the things that support families and children, that there are going to be consequences for that. And we really just have to continue to say, you know, if you're going to be our legislator, you have to really care about children.
Do you think there's a role for nonprofit and Skillman and those that are working in this area to educate voters about why it's important to invest in this? I mean, we've been talking a lot with people over the past couple of weeks about young talent and growing our young talent here and bringing in young talent because it's about the vitality of the community and where jobs will come. But do you think we've done the best job that we can do in terms of educating voters so that they can impress upon their elected officials as it relates to these issues?
You know, I think we can do better and we can do more. So, and we should all be talking about the same things. We should have the same understanding of the consequences of not graduating from high school, of not going to college, and if you go to college, of not staying in our region to work. So we have to develop talent and then we have to retain it, and we all have to be saying the same thing and saying that this is really important. That if we want to be a city like Boston and Minneapolis, where they're doing a much better job of retaining their young people, then we all have to get behind that and support it. And everybody has to say it. After a while, it'll become the mantra. We'll say, yeah, well, I have to graduate from high school. I have to go to college.
What is the role of one
Excuse me.
that you're doing with Skillman Foundation?
Well, you know, for us, 1D has identified areas of concern that the community said was most important. And now we need to measure the progress. Our work is around education. It's really helpful that 1D is going to be benchmarking that and giving us a scorecard and really giving the whole community a scorecard in a format that they can understand so that the community will know, well, we are making progress and we should get behind that. I mean, it's the people that you have to hold accountable. This is probably one of the most opportune times for us to make progress. And so we all have to collaborate together, and we need 1D to do their part. The philanthropic sector needs to do their part, and our civic and community leaders need to do their part.
For business folks that are watching, how can they get engaged as the business community or as individuals in the business community with this issue?
You know, I think the business community needs information about how we're doing on education and other areas, but they also need to be a good collaborator with us. They need to talk about what are the skill sets that they need for the jobs that they have so that education and business can work together. And then I think the business community needs to get inside some of these schools where there's some really good things going on, particularly the new schools, so that they can be hopeful, they can give input, and maybe they can in some way share the resources that they have to make sure that we really do the best job we can to improve educational outcomes.